What's up guys, just Norris here today, and it is our Sunday Q&A. So, let's go ahead and get started, if my dog stops barking. So I just want to let you guys did another good job about commenting and upvoting questions you want to hear answered. Just remember to do that on my most recent Q&A. So like, last week, I'm taking all these questions from Q&A number 8, and then next week I'll just take them from today's Q&A, so Q&A number 9. So again, please leave those comments, upvote them if you want to hear them get answered. I try to take the highest upvoted and then just questions I feel like need to be answered. So that's what I'm doing here today. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Adam Mark Phillips, he asks, does your back ever get ripped up a lot due to the way you squat, and do you ever experience elbow and tricep pain due to it? So basically he's just saying, I'm a narrow or a low bar squatter, so the bar is low on my back and it does put a lot of tension on your shoulders and elbows. So yes, my back does get pretty scraped up, but eventually you get either used to it or your back you build like a callus, almost like you do on your hands. So I kind of have like a little callousy portion on my back, which sounds kind of gross, but I've gotten used to it. So as far as elbow pain goes, yes, sometimes I do. It's really a mobility thing. It usually happens more on my shoulders, so I really got to focus on stretching my shoulders out before a squat, because obviously the way I hold it, you know, low bar, it puts a lot of tension there. Elbow pain, sometimes I'll throw on elbow sleeves just to kind of minimize that. Otherwise, what you can do is just kind of roll and stretch out your bicep tendon and then your tricep tendon area. So that's basically what pain you're feeling, is maybe some inflammation in there. So roll that out, stretch, probably roll, take like a ball, tennis ball or racket ball, and kind of dig in there. Feels pretty good, so that's what I'd recommend. Adrian, can't say your last name. Looks like you're from a foreign country. In training, do you ever use other plates other than 45s and 25s? Sometimes I'll use 10s. I just like to stick to the bigger weights. You know, it's just something I've always done, is kind of work up plate by plate, and then as I get to my top sets and whatever, sometimes I have to use a 10 or a 5 to get to the weight I need to hit that triple. So rarely do I use it in my hypertrophy or strength training sets, but as I peak, I will use those smaller plates. Nick Gettins asks, how long are your training cycles? And more specifically, how long are your hypertrophy, strength, and peak phase? And I'm pretty sure I've answered this, but it seems like I get a lot of questions on this still. So I think just people aren't going back to previous videos or watching them all the way through or something, so that's fine. But my training cycles, for me, it depends on when my next meet is, but typically I do need 8 to 12 weeks minimum to actually have a full cycle. So that's kind of how I base my program on. And then for hypertrophy and strength training, that's going to be 4 to 8 weeks, and then the peaking phase is 4 weeks. So if I have 8 weeks, it's going to be 4 weeks hypertrophy and strength, and then 4 weeks peaking. If it's 12 weeks, it's going to be 8 weeks hypertrophy and strength, and then 4 weeks peaking. So that's kind of how I lay it out, and then obviously it depends when my meet is, and I will, extend that based upon what I'm doing. So yeah, should answer that question, Nick. Fedor, can't say your last name. Fedor asks, what's the heaviest you've ever been, And what kind of education do I have? Probably the heaviest I've ever been is like 210. And that was actually when I was like 16, 17? I think 16. That was kind of heavy then. Right now I'm actually about 207 after those holidays, but I'm gonna plan to start cut back down. I've been drinking way too much beer, dark beer in fact, and then just kind of eating crappy. So we're gonna change that. We're gonna get back to the old regimen and eat healthy and drink our light beer, you know, when I can have a beer. So that's the plan from now on. With the exception of maybe New Year's, we'll see what happens. What kind of education do I have? So I have a high school diploma. I never went to college, although I've taken my, personal training certification. Not that that means anything. I had some training for firefighting and paramedics stuff, first responder stuff. So I had that kind of training outside of just regular schooling. And I never really knew what I wanted to do, so I didn't want to invest in college if I didn't know what I want to do. I don't want to waste my money going to school, is basically what happened. But I've been trying things out, and obviously I have my personal training stuff, and then going to fire school and stuff. I have a little bit of different education, but that's the baseline. And then just kind of learn a lot hands-on, and that's what I feel like is more useful, is experience, rather than this is what I learned out of a book, because a book doesn't give you real life situations, and experience is usually the best. So but maybe we'll go to school someday. I don't know yet. Let's see here. Jordan Jones asks if I've ever considered deadlifting with a hook grip. Not for grip purposes. It seems like grip strength is not an issue for you, but for slightly better leverages, more symmetry. Also, this could be beneficial with avoiding potential bicep tear in the future with the amount of weight you pull. Well, I could see that. No, I haven't considered it. Hook grip, yes, you are more symmetrical, and I don't know if you necessarily have a better chance of avoiding a bicep tear, but I suppose you're at a better angle. With the underhand, you're at a slightly higher risk, but either way, you're still engaging your bicep somewhat. But no, I have not. Under over, I'm able to grip the bar so much better, and the bar will not roll out one way or the other. And I suppose it's the same with hook grip if you hook it right. But I feel like either way, if you're not exactly perfect with your hand placement, the bar is going to tend to roll one way or the other, and I just find that silly. Where under over, you kind of have the say in which way it rolls, and can counterbalance with your right or left hand, sort of thing. I've never had an issue with my biceps. I've never felt pain in my biceps from deadlifting the way I do. So I don't see any reason to change anytime soon. I actually find that I'm very symmetrical as well with the way I pull, and I've never altered my grip or done anything like that. So I think I'm doing all right. I don't see any reason for it, I guess. So we'll see in the future, but as of now, I'm not considering it. Ralph Pereira, I think that's how you say your name. I'm probably butchering names today so bad. It's terrible. Any tips on keeping the core braced and breathing through 6+ reps? It's a matter of working up your work capacity, pretty much. I'd say, I wasn't always able to do as many reps as I can, or the weight that I can without a belt. So I think it's just starting with, you know, only doing those 6 reps without a belt, and over time you're gonna just be able to build on that. So you know, he says that I can be, you know, hold my stability very well without a belt, and that's just because I've trained this way for the last four years or so. I've always just been training without a belt, and I've worked up that capacity and that core stability and strength. So I think it's just a time thing for you. You know, it's gonna be tough at first. I don't know if, you know, you're just starting out or not. That doesn't say anything in the comment, but that is what I have to say. Just over time, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get easier, and that's just how things work. So keep it up. I don't even know how to say your username, dude. But what music do you listen to, and what tattoos do you have? Music wise, you know, you guys asked me what I like and stuff like that, and I think I answered this in the previous one, but I really like pretty much all types of music. I'll listen to it, you know, I love music, and I listen to all different types throughout the day. Rock is probably my favorite. Not so much a rap guy or hip hop, but rock. Country's alright. And then just metal type stuff. Five Finger Death Punch, Bullet for My Valentine, Rise Against, Treyu. I like Rob Bailey and the Hustle Standard stuff. I'm not too picky. Foo Fighters. Those are all good bands. I'm good with them. So, yeah, any kind of music really. But tattoo wise, just the ones you can see on my arms. I don't have any hidden tattoos, so nothing to worry about there. It's my first tattoo. I might get it covered up, I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to turn this into a sleeve on my right arm. Basically 2 wolves inside a moon, kind of a tribal design. It's more of a brotherhood, so basically all my tattoos kind of have some underlying meaning to it. I don't just go get a tattoo because it looks cool, which I feel like some people do that. And if you do that, cool, I guess, but seems silly. So, yeah, it's just a way for me to express myself. I'm a very introverted person, so I guess a tattoo is always a way to, I guess, express me visually. I don't know. Weird, but yeah. This one's more of a brotherhood thing. There's more to that, but it's basically what it is. Next one I got was the cross and some scripture. I was raised Christian, although, you know, some people are gonna say, oh, well, you're not Christian, you have tattoos. Whatever. I'm not like a hardcore Christian or whatever. I'm not gonna preach anything on anyone. Just basically says I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. It's Philippians 4:13. Probably one of my favorite verses, and many other people might share the same. So yeah, it's just kind of my own belief, and yeah, that's as simple as that one gets. Next, it's hard to tell what this is, but this is actually, there's a warrior inside of this being wrapped inside of a serpent, and basically the warrior is just fighting out. So it's pretty basic meaning there, you know, life's gonna try to drag you down, and just be the fighter and fight through it and rise again. This kind of seems like the same pattern here. It's a phoenix rising out of the fire and the flames. And we're turning this into old sleep, so that's kind of where my tattoos go. I know a lot of people are curious, you know, what tattoos you have or what they mean, and that's a little bit about what they mean to me. So I thought it might be interesting to share that with you guys. And that's all I got for you guys. I hope, you know, seeing my tattoos and learning what they mean doesn't freak anyone out, or I don't know, seems it's more of a personal meaning to me, so sharing that is different. But that's gonna be the Q&A today. Hopefully you guys take away something from it. And let's see here. I'm actually gonna try to do my deads and bench tomorrow. Last week I know I said I was going to and didn't. I actually fell asleep on the couch and did not wake up till the following morning, so I missed that workout, which kind of sucked. So yeah, Monday, deads and bench, and I'll get that video over to you guys. Please comment on this video for next week's Q&A, and you leave your questions, upload any questions you want to hear answered, and I'll do my best to get that for you guys. Obviously, I don't want to make these videos too long, as we're already running 16 minutes, and I only have time for about 5 or 6 questions at a time. So I apologize if I've not got your question, but I am doing my best to get through all the questions and actually responding on the comments. So trying to do that for you guys. But yeah, keep up the good work. Keep commenting on here and leaving your questions. And we will see you guys tomorrow. So we'll talk then. Please leave a thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you guys Monday.